this point in time, we have here in the studio our lead social worker in the form of Sue Franke, who's been with us for a number of years and has done a wonderful job telling us about stress and how to deal with it. And this morning, we're going to talk about stress, and what a perfect time to do it, all this holiday stress that's going on. Sue, we're so glad you're with us.
And I think it's just really talking about how to find balance during this holiday season. There was just so much going on.
Yes.
And I think it's looking at it in terms of being more proactive. How can you alleviate the stress rather than trying to react once you're finding yourself way overstressed, and then maybe even that depression of not being able to live up to expectations and just everything that goes with the holidays.
It's really amazing how many people really get stressed and do have a depression over the holidays in regards to things.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with those expectations. There is just so much to do. So much out of our normal routine. And I think, if I talk to any resident here at Green Spring, most everybody will say, I'm busier now than when I was at work and when I had family at home. I am busy. And then you talk about putting all of the holiday activities on top of that. Expectations, getting presents, decorating, that involves going down to the storage unit, pulling things out, Christmas cards, holiday cards, just all of that. So there are some ideas in terms of what you can do. I think one of the big ones is to maintain as much of your regular schedule as possible. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, because without enough sleep, that really can play into your well-being, not only emotionally, but physically too. So if you're up with a late party, make sure that you have the time the next day to sleep in or relax and rest. Make sure that you take a nap if you're feeling tired in the afternoon, and to give yourself that license to say, you know what? I'm tired. I think I'll just lay down for a little bit.
Or if you've drank a little bit too much the night before, still take a nap in the afternoon and recover a little bit better.
And to just think about, how with the holidays you might be inclined to drink a little bit more, and just looking at and thinking ahead about how that might impact you the next day. So really just, I think, being very mindful and proactive about how that might play in. We have holiday parties with foods that we don't always eat, a lot of candies, a lot of sugar, a lot of creamy type stuff. So making sure that you get enough of your fruits and vegetables, and balancing it out with things that really are good for your bodies in that way.
What I'm hearing you say is be realistic. In regards to your food intake, your drink, all those things, and also in regards to your expectations.
And I mean, for many of us here, we hosted Christmas at our house with all of the kids, all of the grandkids, and it's hard to give that up. It's hard to realize that it's okay to have a new Christmas a tradition, and that might be going over to one of your children's houses, or niece or nephew or friend, or maybe staying here at Green Spring, enjoying the wonderful dinners that they plan to serve here with the friendship and the socialization of residents.
And let somebody else do the cooking.
And that's okay. That is a really viable way to spend Christmas.
One of the things that I've always noticed is our expectations are so high, and we think everybody wants us to do this, and do this, as opposed to us looking at what am I capable of doing, and what's my energy level in doing this, and what do I really need to do, not what somebody expects me to do.
And I think that last piece is the important thing. What do I want to do? And how can I make a difference and feel good about it? So I think some of it's recognizing the positives that you do, rather than saying, I'm not doing this and this and this, looking at it from that flip side of saying, I am doing this.
Right.
I am able to do that. Maybe it's giving to a charity. Maybe it's donating a coat.
Yes.
We had the Toys for Tots. Maybe it's giving an unwrapped toy
Yes.
to somebody. Maybe it's Salvation Army. I made a pact with myself this year. I will not pass a Salvation Army kettle without putting something in.
Oh, that's a wonderful, wonderful commitment that you've made in regards to that.
And just that feeling of knowing that not only are those people out there in the cold weather and the snow and the rain, but that it really goes to a good cause. So it's looking at those things that you are doing.
Right.
A phone call, it could be as easy as calling somebody, texting, email, just to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. So it's connecting with people, and not always in a face-to-face. It can be other ways too.
Well, now with all the modern technology that we have and all the social media, and even the Christmas cards now that you can send electronically, how much stress that reduces as far as I'm concerned, as opposed to having to go out and buy Christmas cards, sit there and write a note in each one, and then spend the money on a stamp to mail them. Is to send electronic Christmas cards. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of us that are on Facebook or follow Facebook or some type of an electronic medium like that, you're able to keep up with people during the year as well.
Exactly.
So I think there's a lot of benefits from that. One of the things, though, I really liked was the recommendation to try to laugh.
Yes.
Even when things aren't going quite the way you expect, something happens and you feel like it could be a catastrophe. Find something humorous in it. Laugh. And even they've proven that even a forced laugh can help your mood.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't realize it until you try it.
Yes.
And so just cracking that smile.
Right. And it reduces the stress that you have. And one of the other things, a way of doing that is the fact of, if you see a child doing something now and you think about your own children in regards to what they were like at Christmas, I mean, that has a positive effect in regards to it. Of saying,
it sure does.
Yeah. I can laugh about, my child survived and they did the same thing.
Yes. Yeah. And I think too, you talk about thinking about prior years, looking through pictures, just reminiscing, thinking about some other times, but then looking at it in terms of who you are now and what has helped shape the person that you are now, and then reflecting on the relationships and the friends that you have right now too.
And I think that's one of the nice things about Green Spring, about people eating together, and that you share and you have someone to talk to during the meal. That people, if you were living in your own home by yourself, it's not as easy.
Yes.
In regards to it.
And you can go out of your apartment and find somebody to talk to pretty much any time of the day. And I was listening to Sheila, and she was talking about new people coming in.
Yes.
And that's one of the big things as I'm meeting with them is that I try to impart is just the whole socialization that we have here, and the fact that residents here care about each other.
Right.
It is a kind, caring community, and I thank everybody for that.
Yeah. Well, one of the nice things in regards to that, though, is the fact of the caring staff, and you and all the staff that we have. 1,100, I think is what it is now, all total, who care about the residents, and it gets passed along.
It does, and that idea that when you walk down the hallway, you look people in the eye and you say hi.
Exactly.
You say hello, good morning, good afternoon, happy holidays, and I think that makes a huge difference. It really does.
Before my wife and I moved here over 10 years ago, we lived in a condo 55 plus community, and we see more people now in an hour of a day than we did in a week where we lived, and we've commented about it many times, and the interactions that we have are just so much more than we had when we were not living here.
Yes, a similar type community, but structured very differently.
Exactly.
And those are truly the benefits. But I do want to add, if someone is finding that they're having difficulty rising above. They're finding themselves becoming what they feel is depressed, or something doesn't quite feel right emotionally, please reach out. We do have in the medical center now Kathleen Taylor, who is a licensed clinical social worker. She is there as our medical center social worker. She can provide one-on-one counseling, therapy. She can talk with you just to help sort of get the feelings out, someone to talk to. It can be once, it can be multiple. She's really there as part of our community to be able to help in circumstances where you're having difficulty just doing it yourself.
And social work does so much of that. I mean, you know, I don't think we as a community could survive without having social workers, without having the group of individuals who really do care and will listen, and it's confidential.
It's everything that you tell a social worker is confidential. It will stay with us, yes. And I think that is the benefit of this community, is that we do have that resource here for residents to be able to help in all circumstances. So, yeah.
And the other thing, if people don't know it, I mean, go to enjoy a musical, and especially one that's done by the Franke family.
Oh, yes, and there is so much music at this time of the year. It's amazing how much. We were listening just recently to the program that was earlier this week, and so you know, that can lift your mood. I don't know, I find myself when I'm out shopping, they're playing Christmas music everywhere now, even in the grocery stores, but I hum along, and it lifts your mood just to listen to the Christmas music that you've grown up with in that way. And there's one of the radio stations has Christmas music on 24 hours a day. So look into that, find out where that is, just so that you can get that high, or stick a CD on. Just find some ways to lift your mood during this season.
Very good. Well, Sue, you certainly lift our mood, and we greatly appreciate you doing that, and we so appreciate having you here at Green Spring.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on today.